Hey there, it's Natasha.
And Khalil.
And we are the co-hosts of
WokeNFree.
Thank you for tuning into our 21st episode of WokeNFree. If you've been tuning in every week for WokeNFree Wednesdays, you know that WokeNFree is all about being real and honest with each other and with you. We talk about everything and anything that's important to us, to you, and the world. And of course, nothing is off the table. In this episode, we're going to be talking all about relationships and who people are really attracted to. Before we get there, though, of course, we have some ground rules to cover. First and foremost, have you subscribed to WokeNFree on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play, our YouTube channel, SoundCloud, or iHeartRadio? If not, please do so. We greatly appreciate your support and love for our podcast. Second, share the episode with your friends and family. Just one share amongst all of you goes a long, long way. And then, of course, talk to us. Talk to us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at WokeNFree.
As you know, each week we like to share a little bit about us before we dive into the topic for each episode. Last week we shared our favorite smoothie mix-ins. This week we are sharing songs that we have to dance to, even if we're not in the dancing mood.
Really,
so you
Khalil?
Can go first.
Really? Again with the surprise that's not so funny.
What? It's a lot different.
Okay. I guess for me, there's a lot of songs that I really just get jiggy to. But one song, no matter what mood I'd be in, and if I heard it, I'd have to start dancing to, would be the Macarena song, because I just love that song, and I just loved doing it at parties when I was young, but I'm showing my age. So we will quickly move forward to what your answer is.
Mine is even older than that song. It's the Electric Slide. Whenever I hear that, I have to dance, because when I was younger, my parents taught me how to do it. And back then, everyone was doing it. It was something you had to know. You know, nowadays...
Lies you tell.
Nowadays, these children, I don't know if they're learning it. But for me, that's the one song for me that I have to dance to regardless of the situation.
Okay, so I'm going to hold you to that next time we're at a wedding, which we will be in a couple of months. If they play this song, you better get up and boogie.
You already know I do every time to it, so you're just trying to joke
Lies
with the audience.
And fairy tales.
I don't know why you're trying to be funny with them, but that's what you like to do for today.
Call me Monique.
Wow. That's all I'll say on that.
Awesome. So we're going to boogie on down to what we have to talk about today. First and foremost, question out of the ballpark is what makes people attracted to another person? Like who are we attracted to? What's going on when we figure out who we want to date?
I think the sense of sight is the first thing to take over. That's the first thing that somebody sees is looks. The second thing they see or they know about or care about is the money. That can supersede anything else that makes someone attractive. So even if a person doesn't fit like a particular look, if they have a big bank account, then that person can be attractive. Another thing is people who are funny are actually seen as attractive. In the Live Science article, Funny Guy Gets the Girl, How Humor Makes You More Attractive by Sarah G. Miller, studies have suggested that when a person is attractive, others think of them as being more humorous than less attractive people.
Interesting. Okay. So according to a Psychology Today article, which you know I love Psychology Today, shout out. And of course, you can find all of our article references on WokeNFree.com. There are 3 vital elements of attraction, which you definitely touched on. First is definitely, like you said, physical attractiveness. So looking sexy, how attractive are they physically speaking? Then there's psychological attractiveness, which is creating connection. So actually moving past just the, oh, shorty, looks good, but like, can you actually talk to the person? Do you actually have like chemistry with them? And then thirdly is the behavioral attractiveness. So making bold moves. So women can be attracted to like a confident man, someone who seems very steadfast in who they are and are, unapologetic about it. So I personally couldn't agree more with these 3 categories. I'm sure you can add to them, but even just like thinking back to us, I will depart from regular scheduled programming to share our love story, which will upset you, I'm sure.
Oh, okay, you could share this fake story.
Excuse you.
Fake news.
What are you saying, Khalil?
Sorry about the fake news love story about to be shared.
So how did we meet? Okay, let's picture it, guys. We are freshmen at Penn State, and it's the first fall break of the year. And we both happen to be at the Greyhound bus station that's like right across from campus. And I see this beautiful black man head to toe in Sixers gear, and instantly I thought this was the most beautiful person I had ever seen in my entire life, which will remain true to the day I die. And from there on, I won't go into the full detail beyond that, but that was the beginning of everything. So if you want to talk about the physical attractiveness, definitely, I wasn't like super into the Sixers or anything, but I just thought that like you looked fly and I had to talk to you, and went on and did it. Secondly, the psychological attractiveness. Our first date was seeing The Grudge, which is terrible. Dates are terrible to go to the movie for because you can't talk to the person. So it's kind of a bad first date, but
we can talk afterwards.
Exactly. And we did. And we pretty much essentially since we started dating, we haven't stopped speaking. And I've had nonstop questions for you and you've had nonstop answers. Don't get it twisted. This person is not shy at all. Thus our podcast. So that definitely, we checked the box for that. And then behavioral attractiveness. So this is, again, referring to what? Boldness and confidence. And you were dripped in it. And so for me, definitely, you appeared very confident. You sounded very confident. And I just love that because I think that a person who knows who they are and loves who they are is just that's the sexiest trait ever. So for us, check, check, check.
Wow. That's all I can say on that one. I think we should move on to a different
Are you blushing,
subject.
dear? We can move on. That's fine.
What are the bad character traits people are attracted to?
Ooh. Okay, so I have to do a shout out again to Psychology Today because they just have the dopest information, guys. You got to check it out, WokeNFree.com. So they actually share 7 behaviors that ruin relationships. And I think that this is something that really speaks to bad behavior that people are attracted to. So having angry reactions to feedback instead of being open to it. Being closed to new experience instead of open to new things, using deception and duplicity instead of honesty and integrity, overstepping boundaries instead of showing respect for them, showing a lack of affection and inadequate, impersonal, or routine sexuality instead of physical affection and personal sexuality, misunderstanding instead of understanding, and then lastly, being manipulative, dominant, or submissive. So that's a hell of a list.
Yeah, I mean, what I was thinking of, it fell within what you were talking about in terms of deception and duplicity. Mm-hmm. Because the bad trait the one that I thought about was that there's people that are fast talkers who just kind of say the things that you want to hear instead of the actual truth. So I think that's definitely a big part of bad traits that people get attracted to, is hearing things that sound good but really are far from the truth, but it just makes you kind of feel good on the inside.
True that.
And we see that also that the hard to get person, as seen in movies, for some reason people are attracted to that. So somebody who's kind of doesn't show I guess you touched on it with not showing affection or maybe not even showing any care. People are attracted to that. A person who just kind of gives you the cold shoulder. Sometimes people like that. It's the chase, I guess. Chasing someone who's not interested. To me, that's a waste of time. But some people like that. They're attracted to chasing people that they can't have or that doesn't want them.
I mean, I definitely can relate to that one before meeting you. Sadly, I was a very confused child, and he knows who he is. His name shall not be named. And anyone who knows me knows who I'm speaking about. I was obsessed with this child. I thought I wanted to marry this child. I was 6 years old, and he wouldn't give me the time of day. And so the whole thing about chasing someone, I guess for me, I can say that it's kind of like, it's kind of like you want to win, right? You're like, no, but what if I say this one thing? What if I do this one thing? And it really does come down to low self-esteem and not feeling confident enough enough in yourself, because like it is a waste of time. If someone will make it super clear to you if they like you or not. And if the answer is no, move on about it. Like, there's books on it, there's movies to watch, like, move the hell on. But for some people, there's something about that chase where you're just like, because if you win, it's like, like you've conquered something, but it hasn't really. It's just kind of sad.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like that's worth it.
It isn't. It definitely.
And how long is that going to really last? The person that you chased is.
True.
Are you going to, like, convince them now that you're the love of their life and they have to be with you forever?
Probably not. It probably will be, rendezvous to the bedroom and back. Yeah. It's definitely starting off on a shaky ground for sure. So definitely. My next question would be, how do we break the habit of attracting, like, the wrong behaviors or traits for the people that we want to be with?
I think you need to first figure out what you want is the key. Mm-hmm. And it can't just be based off, like, a certain look. I think it should be based on a personality type. You want someone who is strong, for example. If you don't know what you want, then you might attract what you don't want. You should never continuously talk to your friends about what traits you hate in a partner. That's, like, the worst thing you can do.
Yes, I'm so glad that you said that, because I hear way too many women say, "Oh, well, he can't be this, that, and the other," and it's like exactly
what you're gonna get. That's
the law of attraction. Is whatever you're manifesting, whatever you keep putting energy towards, is what you're gonna attract. So, guys and ladies and gentlemen, if you do not want something, probably focus on what you do want as opposed to focus on what you don't want. And divorcemom.com, which also you can find this article on WokeNFree.com, gives some interesting advice about things that you need to really think about. So first, develop a sense of self-awareness, as you were saying, right? What do you want? What is your intention? Secondly, be your authentic self. It's really hard to develop a good relationship with someone if you are pretending to be someone you're not, because you're starting off on the wrong foot. They think you are not a smoker, and you are a smoker.
Wow.
Yep, they think you are an artist, and you happen to pay someone on Fiverr to make your art.
Good idea.
Right? Like, we've got to keep it real, keep it legit, guys. Like, third, identify your needs in a relationship. If someone is asking you what you want and you're like, no, I never want this, and you're secretly waiting for them to choke on something, like, be real and honest about what you want and need in the relationship, and then also know what are the requirements of a relationship, and also be willing to settle for nothing less. So I think compromise is different than settling, though, right? Compromise is kind of a meeting of the minds, right? But settling is literally saying, I want X and I'll just take Y below it, and that's not.
As long as these requirements are reasonable and not just out of the freaking galaxy.
Yeah, they have to be reasonable. Yeah, absolutely. Reasonableness would be a good thing to add as well. Mm-hmm.
What are common signs that you're with the wrong person?
That's crazy. So Huffington Post goes in and says actually a lot. There is an article that goes through 10 signs. I don't know if we'll get through all of them, but we'll talk them each out. So first, constantly fighting. You would agree? That's a bad one?
Yeah, that's not good. You can't constantly fight. I mean, then I guess you're just like your opponents then, right?
You're battling.
It's Mortal Kombat time.
Absolutely. Yes. Let's avoid Mortal Kombat as a relationship. Yeah.
That's a little too much.
How about, people don't like hanging out with you as a couple. I agree, as long as the people making this judgment call are, like, in your corner and they're not, like, secret haters.
No, I don't agree with that.
Oh, okay. You think it's okay if your friends or people don't like your partner?
Well, unless you're in, like, a polyamorous relationship, then it doesn't really matter.
Oh, okay. Because
it's up to the couple. I mean, why do the outside people count?
I mean, maybe because your friends might know you better than you know yourself, or might be able to identify the fact that you're being delusional about something. And so, them pointing that out is, like, a good indicator, like, maybe I should take a step back. But like I said, you have to be mindful, though, about the advice that's being given to you, though.
Yeah, you gotta be very. If those friends were all married, then maybe yeah.
Happily married,
yeah. Because then you could see the point. Like, maybe they have, like, some kind of inside hints to give you. So then maybe you would take it. But if they're single, they could just be trying to drag you down, like crabs in a barrel.
Ooh.
So it's just, you got to be careful
Coming
with
for
that.
singleness. Okay.
Only ones that give advice to couples.
Okay.
You got to be very careful.
Okay. An equally important point is to consider if you don't like your partner's friends. So same thing. Is it important for you, if you're dating someone, that you like your partner's friends?
Yeah, it depends on how close you are with those friends, I would say. So this could be important. You don't want to have
conflict.
Yeah, you don't want to have your partner getting in between you and a longtime friend. So
I thought this was an interesting point. How about you don't think about your significant other during the day?
That's pretty funny. I don't know how significant they are.
Excuse you.
Then it's your insignificant other.
Excuse you.
Oh, then it's your IO.
Excuse you.
Then that would be your IO.
How many times do I come to your mind a day? Exactly.
How many insignificant others can you have? Like, that's crazy. That's just a funny one.
You're evil.
It's how many times do you not come to my mind a day? It's like, how many seconds are in a day?
Gotcha.
I mean, how many seconds are in a day?
Ooh la la. I see your intention.
Tell me how many seconds in the day, and then I can tell you how many times I think about you.
Okay, this is a children's program, right? How about you feel resentful towards your partner?
This is getting intense. You got to be very careful at this point. At this point, you might need some kind of like therapy. You might need some coaching.
I think that's depressing. If you're with someone and you're resentful with them, then damn.
And you give them like a stern look whenever they're in bed sleeping.
Like Jamaicans would say, you just vex with them, just vex all day.
But yeah, and I understand that it probably still happens till this day. I know in the past this used to happen when divorce was really looked down upon.
Yeah.
But now I think maybe you get a little bit less of this because
people just leave. They're
people
just
can
like,
leave
bump
now.
that. I'm not sitting out here trying to be angry all day. Jesus.
Yeah, so it's a little bit. The times are a little bit different. So you really don't need to be resentful in your relationship.
Another good one is you don't trust your partner or they don't trust you.
Well,
that could be a good sign.
This one's interesting because people don't want to be honest with themselves, but some people don't need to trust their partner 100%. That's funny.
True. Honesty is
some people don't rank it high.
Make it honesty is gauged by the couples themselves.
It's the couple that can decide. Yeah, some couples say, "I tell you what you need to know," but that's not our philosophy. But it works for some couples, I guess.
Okay, and then another couple ones they add is they want you to change, which I think was very interesting because who you are is who you are. Who you were 13 and a half years ago is who you are today. Like, people don't change. Like, they can evolve and grow.
I guess evolve is a better word.
But who you are fundamentally, like, there's certain things that people are, and that's it. Like, I have been sloppy since you've met me, right? Like, that's never changing. That's not just randomly evolving. And then lastly, Huffington Post adds, you don't look forward to being with them. I thought that was sad.
Wow.
Jesus.
All right, so there was also another Huffington Post article, 7 Signs Your Significant Other is Entirely Wrong for You, by Brittany Wong. So she listed 7 things, and I think we'll just go over these quickly just to kind of add more more of these traits to look out for. So the first one was the criticism and nitpicking is constant, and the compliments are few and far between. That's the person's always attacking you like a demon.
Demon.
That's not good. Like, you got to perform an exorcism on them or something, because that's kind of crazy.
Christ compels you.
Yeah, that's no good. No bueno.
No bueno.
It's similar to one of the points you mentioned before, but being with your partner makes you feel less sure of yourself. I guess
that's
gives
horrible.
you uncertainty.
Jesus, that's like anxiety. That's
I guess
awful.
It's more like anxiety. So wow, that's
awful.
Yeah, that's bad. Yeah. The trust one we went over. Trust is non-existent. You're way too familiar with all of your partner's exes.
Ooh, so now that is giving people something to pause on. Yes, the baby mama drama, and this girl and this guy and all too much drama. Everybody has to cut the past behind you. It's happened. Move the hell on. Yeah.
But some people say, can't we all get along?
Are we in a polyamorous relationship? Let's think about what's going on there.
Yeah, that has to be definitely thought about. Another is the two of you only have a good time when you're partying. So when you're intoxicated or inebriated,
Oh,
That's the only time you can have fun together.
I would throw out names, but I don't want to get
no,
yeah,
names.
You don't. That's interesting.
We see this a lot with celebrity couples.
Yeah,
even.
that's who that. There's
there's celebrity couples that have this issue.
Yes.
So that's definitely a sign that this is not the right person. The silent treatment is all too familiar.
Listen, though, sometimes you men need to be trained, though. You got
so every day you come home and you think your significant other is a mute.
No, it's sometimes.
That's pretty bad.
Listen, the phrase is, if you have nothing nice to say, you say nothing at all. So maybe you're just contemplating your vexedness.
I don't know.
And it has to be a bit of a library in your house.
I don't know. The last one is your significant other only shows you affection when they want something.
I wonder what gender that applies to more frequently than not others.
Let's see. Probably the undecided gender.
Okay, sir.
Gender undecided.
Keep it moving.
All right.
Okay.
How does personal experience play a role in the types of people you're attracted to?
Ooh, I think that it plays a really big role. I would say your parents, your family, your friends, they all play a role in you growing up and kind of figuring out who you are and what's that mean for your sexuality and who you're attracted to. And, you know, for me, I would say growing up in the experiences that I had witnessed and were a part of, honesty was a big thing for me because I saw too many adults lying to each other just left and right. And so I knew that I couldn't be with a liar. So I actively sought that out in our relationship. Common interest. Too many people as adults I saw growing up, they had nothing in common with their person other than that they had sex at some point. And
that's common.
Right, and they created this baby and then they were married because that's what you did, and there's all these other whatever. And to me, I knew that that was just intensely wrong for something that I could actively be a part of, and I knew that I didn't want to be with someone exactly like me because, oh my God, there's only one Tasha. Hey! But
as far as you know, you don't know if I've cloned you. I may have cloned you. You don't know.
Excuse you.
Are you the clone?
Are you?
I may be a clone myself.
But I knew that I wanted to have a lot of similarities, right? So if I say, hey, it's time to watch a horror movie, hey, it's time to go do this, you wouldn't look at me and be like, oh, good luck with that. Like, that I was going to have a partner that really enjoyed some of the interests that I enjoyed. And then also, I think the third biggest component I saw was that I thought that you should be with someone who made you better. Too many times I saw people get into relationships where the one person's trying to pick up one person or one person's putting down one person. Why not find equal footing with your partner? Why, your partner shouldn't be a project. Your partner shouldn't be someone who you despise, shouldn't be someone who you, make you bitter and angry. That you should be happy and joyous with someone who makes you want to elevate yourself and be a better person, and they're right along with you for that journey. But how about you?
Yeah, I think your environment helps influence what you find attractive. Yes, there are some things that are just innate to you, but when your family constantly tells you that college-educated professionals are all they want to meet, then you will eventually start to agree with that, and you yourself will look for other well-educated people in your life.
So you said your family is brainwashing people?
Pretty much.
Nice.
They do that all the time. They say, oh, you can only be with a doctor, for instance. They say stuff like that, and then you end up doing that. You're like, all right, only will date doctors, can't date janitors. And they're perfectly great people, too. Maybe even better. That might be your soulmate.
Okay, Khalil. Enough.
You can meet your soulmate in the bathroom stall.
Okay, enough. So, we're going to mosey on down to another question.
True,
and I'm going to try to forget the last, 5 seconds of that conversation.
Yeah, that could have... Yeah, you could take that the wrong way.
Yeah. What is the cost of being with the wrong person?
The cost will be your energy. Like the Killer Smile song.
Shout out to Killer Smile.
So, also, you'll be less motivated. You could start to feel depressed. Negativity might come more easily to you. You're probably going to lose a sense of hope. You're going to constantly complain about life. You may start self-sabotaging other parts of your life. And worse, you might actually miss the true love of your life.
You said you will be in a hopeless state of mind.
Yes.
Because it's a
hopeless nation.
Hopeless nation.
Yes.
Okay. So to add to that list of hopelessness, I would say you're probably going to be unhappy. Yep, you're going to make bad decisions. You might find ways to escape your life, which will probably be through bad decisions.
So not through like Houdini magic.
No, like through methamphetamines.
Those are kind of magical. That's
Opiates and all of that good stuff, cocaine,
whatever
heroin.
It takes, that's your magic.
Make good choices, guys.
Don't do magic.
You might also complain a lot, and you might also lash out at other people unnecessarily, you know? And you're probably going to step out on the person or wish that you're stepping out.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And then, you know, really the list goes on, but the point is the decision to be with someone or not to be with someone is your decision. It's not a sentence. It's a decision. It's a choice. And so people just need to be brave enough to see when something's not working and make a change. Because like you're saying, if you don't, you possibly could be missing out on someone you really should be with. So that's the biggest cost, that you might not be living the life that you were meant to be living.
Yeah. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? Scenario 1. You've been talking to Davenport on a popular online dating website for a couple of weeks. Both of you think it's time to go out on the very first date. There is one huge problem though. You're married. What do you do?
Okay, Khalil. I'm very uncomfortable with this scenario.
Oh, because of Davenport.
What you trying to say?
About Davenports?
What you trying to say?
You have something against Davenports, don't you?
I'm about to beat you
that.
after this. Yep.
That's interesting that you're taking a prejudice towards Davenport.
Lies and fairy tales.
So what's your issue? Let's hear.
Well,
what do
okay.
you do in this situation?
So do you have any information? I always have questions, Khalil.
Wow, come on. This is supposed to be you making an uninformed decision on a very critical scenario.
You're asking a lawyer to make an uninformed decision?
Yes.
See the irony of that? No. So we don't know if this person is happily married or where they are in the state of it married. Are they legally separated? Are they filing taxes together? Like, where are they at in their marriage?
No, you have no clue.
Oh, okay. Okay. So no, as a married person, and even before I was married, I would say that the sanctitude of marriage needs to always be upheld. You can always break up before you go and get your groove on with someone else. It is never appropriate. It is never right. I don't care how horrible your partner is. Legally separate, break up, do what you need to do so that you can really move on, because how's the other person going to feel if they find out you went ahead and did all this stuff with them while you were still attached to someone else? It can kind of not really end up really great. So don't go on the date.
Yeah, that's good advice. Scenario 2. Joey has been a great partner so far in this 4-week relationship. Joey had everything you wanted: beauty, charms, infectious laughter, and a hefty bank account to suit.
There you go.
Joey asks if you'll attend a Civil War reenactment where the South wins. You, being a social justice warrior, just can't go along with this. Should you break up with Joey or stay because Joey has all the qualities you've ever wanted?
So he probably doesn't have all the qualities since he thinks the South won.
I don't know if he thinks the South won. He just likes to go to these Civil War things.
Okay, well, you know,
his family's from the South.
Oh, that's nice. Well, that reminds me of the phrase, "Let's make America great again." What are the qualms with that statement? When slavery was good old, right? No. Okay, so I would say, I don't know if you have to break up with Joey, but you might want to just tell Joey that you are, this is not in a type of event that you would really enjoy given your social justice belief systems and or hatred toward slavery. So if this is a qualm for him, then yeah, maybe you will have to break up. But if he can understand the error of his ways, maybe you won't go and you'll go see a movie and there'll be lots of different diverse people in the movie.
Even though this is a tradition for Joey to attend this reenactment.
Slavery was a tradition too, wasn't it? What happened there? Sometimes things have to change.
Yeah, I mean, I guess your best bet is trying to convince Joey why you feel that this Civil War reenactment was wrong.
Granted, we're not trying to change Joey because we did mention that earlier.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, we're just
explain.
highlighting that. Yeah, I mean, there's something about trying to change someone, and also trying to highlight to the person what you might be doing might not be great. Same thing. You could, really love a person, but if they happen to be, addicted to something that's really bad, you have to highlight that to the person.
You can at least let them know why.
It could be a little offensive. It could be something that's not appropriate now to do.
Yeah. Scenario 3. Anita is very precious to you. She always knows the right things to say and defend you when others bring up your shortcomings. However, you wonder if you should stay with her. Whenever you're alone, she is physically destructive to you. It's strange because she only says nice things to you, even during the altercations. Should you seek counseling, or is it better to cut your losses and leave the woman who uplifts you time and time again, but then beats you to oblivion in secret?
I hate you so much. You are a wicked person. So
It's like that movie where what is that movie where that woman takes the man and puts him? She's like
Misery.
Yeah, Misery, like that. But I mean, this
is someone who's never seen the movie, obviously.
Okay, this is like a take on not Misery then.
Oh, Khalil.
This is like a not take on Misery.
Obviously, he was exposed to too much physical violence as a child. And he's coming for people in his scenarios. You're so evil and wicked.
If you think that's what it is, I don't know. These are scenarios that could occur.
Couldn't even finish a sentence without busting out laughing. So
no, I could, but you were giving a reaction to it. You're reacting to the scenario before it played out.
Because you're a demon.
You should have let it play out.
My answer to this is she sounds like she needs an exorcism.
You think she needs it? She's so uplifting to the person.
If you're saying I love you and you're stabbing the person, you might need an exorcism, so you might just need to speak with a spiritual leader and see if
So you feel that seeking counseling is a good thing then?
Yeah, I think so, because it seems weird to me. And as you told me the scenario, in my mind, I saw, again, someone like strangling a man, saying, I love you so much, I love you so much, I love you so much, that it seems a little disturbed. So I would say seek spiritual counseling.
Wow. All right. So, well, at least there's some hope here then. That's good to know.
Yeah, hope of her not ending up in a facility.
All right. So you don't know what might come out of this.
Oh, they most likely will not be able to be together unless she can control her physical obstruction against it.
So you're going to have to leave the person, you think.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but they freaking help you when you're in the public. They give you self-esteem at least.
And then beat beat the crap out of you? I mean, come on, man. Nah.
They beat you down where you can't move.
Bruh. We've got to work on this, guys.
All right, the counseling then. That's the suggestion.
Seek an exorcism.
Interesting. Okay.
We are at that time again. I can't even with him right now, guys. We are at the end of our 21st episode of WokeNFree. This was quite the episode talking about relationships and who we're attracted to. And of course, I always do it, but let's play along. Will I leave you hanging for what our next episode is all about? Drum roll, please.
On our next episode, we will be discussing being brutally honest with our special guest, Harrison Barron, the creator of the Brutally Honest podcast. Make sure you follow us on social media to follow along in the conversation, and make sure you tune in next week for WokeNFree Wednesday to join the conversation at www.wokenfree.com.
And if you want to be a guest on the show like Harrison Barron from the Brutally Honest podcast, all you have to do is go to WokenFree.com and hit us up on our Contact Us page to submit a topic for an upcoming episode, share your thoughts, everything and beyond. And of course, like I cannot say again enough, we're super, super active on social media. Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at WokenFree.
If you didn't already subscribe, please do. Share the episode and make sure you come back to join the conversation every Wednesday for WokenFree Wednesdays. Till next time.